It started like any other morning, the sun streaming gently through the curtains, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the kitchen. My son, full of energy as always, came running toward me, his little feet pattering against the floor. "Mom, Mom, I need you for my art project," he yelled, his voice a mixture of excitement and urgency. I looked at him, a little surprised, and smiled. "Sure, honey, what is it this time?" I asked, expecting something small and simple. But the gleam in his eyes told me this was going to be different. He grabbed my hand and pulled me toward his desk, which was already a mess of colored pencils, paints, brushes, and scraps of paper. "I want you to be my model," he announced, his voice trembling slightly with anticipation. I laughed, thinking he meant I would pose for a few sketches. "Okay," I said, sitting down. "Let's see what you've got planned." The first few minutes were innocent enough. He began sketching, his little hand moving with surprising precision, glancing at me and then at the paper. I watched him in fascination, realizing that, even at 7, he had a keen eye for details. The tilt of my head, the curve of my lips, the way my fingers rested on the table, he was capturing everything. Time seemed to stretch. Half an hour passed, and I found myself completely absorbed in the moment. My son was not just drawing, he was observing, analyzing, translating life into art in a way that left me in awe. I tried to talk, to ask questions, but he was too focused, his tongue slightly sticking out in concentration, completely absorbed in the task at hand. Then came the first surprise. He suddenly grabbed a small mirror and placed it in front of me. "Look, Mom. I need to see every angle," he said with a seriousness that made me chuckle. As I peered into the mirror, I realized he wasn't just copying my appearance, he was interpreting it. Every shadow, every line, every expression was transformed into something vibrant and alive on his canvas. I felt a mix of emotions, amusement, pride, awe, and an unexpected wave of tenderness. It was as though I was seeing myself through his eyes, through the lens of pure creativity and imagination. The small freckle near my cheekbone, the way my eyes crinkled when I smiled, even the faint lines that told stories of countless sleepless nights, everything mattered to him. Everything was beautiful. The session intensified. He asked for a photo reference to capture my favorite outfit, my favorite pose. I handed him my phone, assuming he would glance quickly. But he didn't. He studied the images with an attention to detail that left me speechless. Comparing shadows, analyzing angles, making tiny adjustments, it was as if he was a professional artist in miniature. Hours slipped by unnoticed. The room was quiet except for the occasional sound of a pencil scratching the paper or the soft swoosh of a brush. I watched him, amazed at the patience and dedication he poured into every line. And then, finally, he stepped back and revealed the finished piece. I gasped. The drawing was breathtaking. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real, every stroke filled with life, every color chosen with intention, every detail reflecting a deep understanding of me. It was more than an art project, it was a gift, a glimpse into his world, a testament to the love and admiration a child can feel for their parent. But the surprises didn't end there. He had added something subtle, a tiny, hidden detail that only I would recognize. A small heart in the corner, a playful twist in the lines, a little secret tucked into the artwork. I smiled, realizing that he had embedded a piece of himself into the project, a memory that would remain with me forever. The day ended with laughter, hugs, and countless photos. I promised him I would hang the masterpiece in a special place, but more than that, I promised myself that I would never underestimate the imagination and perception of a child. A simple yes had turned into a day of revelations, of love, of unexpected lessons in patience, creativity, and appreciation for the little things. Even now, whenever I glance at that drawing, I see more than just my reflection. I see his perspective, his interpretation, his heart poured onto paper. And I remember the joy, the intensity, and the wonder of a day that started with a simple request and ended with a beautiful, unforgettable surprise. Sometimes, life's most extraordinary moments come disguised as ordinary requests. Sometimes, all it takes is saying yes to unlock a story that you never imagined, a story filled with love, laughter, and unforgettable memories. And that day, with my son and his art project, I learned that yes, sometimes surprises are the most beautiful part of life.